Just when you think it's over. There's more to talk about. Since we're talking about equipment and things that I use and like, this little luggage carrier, luggage carrier. There's the word I'm looking for. Has been great. A lot of the accessories that I use are from Canadian Tire, of course, and this was a great deal. Hooked up a trailer kit to it. These are just hooked on by magnets, so when I'm packing it away I can just take them off, tuck them in, and sit it on the floor. I don't know if you see that there because I keep looking at, there we go. So they just tuck away like that, and they don't come off. They've never come off in while driving. They are frangible too, so if you do end up bumping them, let's see, they just pop right off. So unlikely that you're going to damage them, but they do just clip on like that. A little bit of foam for the paramotor to sit on, and these clips from Home Depot to help secure the back end. I'll show you those once it's on. And then of course straps, which I'll also show you. Helmet does not stay there, helmet goes away. And yeah, it's been great for transporting it around. Now, one of the biggest mistakes I ever made, thankfully no damage to the paramotor, but when I first got it and was transporting it around, I put a sheet over here to protect it from debris, dirt, bugs, and don't do that while driving. It acts as a big sail, and it actually caught the wind, and on that luggage rack tipped over. Didn't fall off, thankfully, but the straps that were holding it in kept it up, but scared the crap out of me because driving along, and all of a sudden you don't see it in your rearview mirror because it just tipped out of view. And like I said, no damage. It just was quite the fright and a learning experience. So hopefully my learning experience becomes your learning experience. And it was a lot of stress too, I would assume, to do that. Or maybe I didn't have the straps down tight enough, I don't know. But don't put a sheet on this. It acts as a big sail, and as you get going down the road, it's gonna try and pull it off of your car. So what I have done though is I do have a sheet still. This guy right here. It's for this size frame, the Maverick, Parajet Maverick. It fits perfectly. It's a queen size fitted sheet, and I'll show you how I put that on there in a moment. Basically, I tuck it in, wrap it around, and because I'm holding the camera, it's kind of hard to do all at once. So I'll show you the finished product here in a second. So a fitted sheet, and it has this little tag on here. Not super important, but I like to line it up at the very top so it's always in the same spot. So if any grease does get on it, it goes back into the same spot where the grease was and doesn't get on the harness, and therefore doesn't get on me. So I keep it on there and use that as a reference for where to attach it. And I don't know if it shows on here, but there are some grease stains from where it is around the or carbon anyway, from around the exhausts. Another thing I've learned, guys, before I go on, is that when I'm driving or transporting the or storing the paramotor, the throttle, used to just tuck it in here and put the seat board up and have it there, and it was nice and safe and secure, nothing gonna bother it, which is great, except this is Velcro, and this Velcro was attaching to the back of the seat, so every time I pull it off, it was pulling on the seat, and it's a little bit worn in this section right here where the throttle was. So eventually I guess it's going to start pulling on it and ripping it and damaging it. So I would not suggest doing that unless yours does not have that Velcro or anything that's going to attach to it, because this harness is awesome. It fits me like a glove. Love it. The harness by DivKid. So what I've been doing instead is putting the throttle through here and transporting it that way. Not as good for the throttle. I mean, it's not terrible, but definitely better for the harness to not have it back here with the Velcro touching it, and it's out of the way. Anyway, back to the fitted sheet. So what I would normally do is fit it through this top portion here, and then I take these clamps I should say, take these clamps, okay, these guys right here, and we go back And I use the little guy just to secure it here. And now the motor, everything's protected while driving. Nothing's gonna, you know, bugs are gonna fly into it. And I keep, when I'm storing it too, this is the same thing. Keep from dust from getting on everything. And like, I've never had to clean this. It's the harness has been nice and clean. And then just grab, like I said, it's a fitted sheet, so it's got that elastic band on it. Get it. Oh, I didn't put up the seat. Hold on, gotta attach the seat first. Okay, so we raised the seat board and attached it using these clips. Awesome feature to this for transporting and storing. And so, like I said, just grab one side here. Kind of hard to do with a camera in your hands, but clip it like such, and then grab the other side, and it'll come around like so. Just use this for a second. So one clip gets covered up, which is fine, not a big deal. And then it's all wrapped up like that, guys, and it's pretty much all covered. Now, Parajet also sells these sleeves for the prop, which I highly recommend, especially when transporting, because you never know if you're going to pick up a stone. And with the price of these props, it would suck to get to the field and have a damaged prop. So these were a Christmas present, and one of the best. I'm looking right here. There's part of the scratch nicked the prop that I did. Anyway, they they are great, and I believe they fit both the Atom 80 prop and the Moster 185 prop. But there it is. And so it's all covered up. Everything's covered except for the cage, but if it takes a stone or anything, and the wind isn't, it's actually kind of loose. I should have tightened it. All right, look at that. Nice and protected for transport and for storage. And the one last thing I do is so that it's not spinning. So even though the prop is covered, it still tries to spin while driving. And I just don't like that idea of it spinning while it's on the luggage rack. So I just basically bungee it off. And I'm sure it'd be fine with just one bungee, but I do both sides, wrap it around, and this has never failed. It's always gone on the rack and come off the rack, the luggage rack that I transport on, the same way. And this system's worked for me. Now, not waterproof, but normally, historically, I've not driven in the rain. All right, and there it is, all bungeed up. It's not gonna, it still has some room to move, so, you know, from bumps, it's not rigid, it's not pulling on the prop. Really, it's really slack. And yeah, that's how I transport, guys. Queen size sheet, Parajet prop covers, a little bit of bungee, and then we'll just show you how we get strapped down in a moment. And one important thing too is to remember to put your fuel caps back on. One time it was a morning flight, because I wasn't totally 100% awake and forgot to put the fuel cap back on the Maverick. Started walking around with fuel sploshing down my leg. Sploshing. Is that a word? It's a word now. Sploshing. One thing I'm noticing, guys, with this new GoPro, the battery's already down to 37%, so that is a lot of juice being sucked up. Like I said, my Hero 7 Silver would go on for at least an hour in cold weather, and I think I got close to 2 on one of my flights. And now I don't know if I've been recording that long, and it's about 20 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that works out into Fahrenheit off the top of my head, but it's not that cold. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to get some external power to this guy, because I'm gonna need more than the amount of time that we've been recording to get some good flight footage. I think the winds are messing with me. Feels like it's getting calmer. Of course I packed up, so that's why. Oh wait, they're picking up again. Anyway, I keep forgetting. I was gonna just show you how I strap it down. Not that that's super exciting either, but just some ratchet straps. Not too hard on the frame. Front to back, straight back, and then to the side, so you get some stability in 2 axes, both sides, and it's strapped down. And then you can see that those hooks that I have here that attach right down to the board, if it does try and tip forward, they're kind of locked in. It can move forward, and if I really wanted to, well, I can't see it, but I could attach something to the front to keep it from shifting forward to really lock it in. But I've not had any issues with this system since I've installed the hooks. It's not moved. The foam helps it keep it in place too. It gives it a little bit of friction, some cushion, so it straps down, pushes into it, instead of just being on a board that's relatively, you know, with less friction. It's going to stop it from moving, and just to help it with the bumps and bounces too. A little bit of cushioning there. But I do have other things I can do today, guys, so I think I am going to call it the official aviation windsock. It's still blowing around, and mine was really blowing around. It's unfortunate. Maybe I'll get back tonight. I gotta charge up this GoPro down to, I think it said 35%, yeah, 33%. So that's a little bit of a bummer. I really like the battery power in my 7, but couldn't get sound through the mic, and I really wanted to test that out today too. But anyway, I said it before, or in this video too. Guys, if you like it, give it a thumbs up, and if you really like it, you know, subscribe, and we're gonna keep the vids coming. Have a great one, guys. Safe flying.